Welcome, my bariatric care friends. I am Dr. Connie Stapleton, and I am here to share with you today some fun, some fun, maybe some lame, I don't know, ideas. But the topic for today is there's a reason for the season, and it ain't food. Now, some of you may be clutching your pearls in wonder, thinking, what is she talking about? Of course, the reason for the season is food. Well, maybe that's been the case for you in the past. However, we do not want that to be the case going forward because you are either preparing for surgery, you have had surgery, you are far out from having your surgery, and you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So, if that is you, then food can no longer be the reason for the season. What season? Holiday season, and we are in the thick of it, right? So I hope that you are enjoying your holiday season and that you are remembering there is a reason for the holiday season. And there is also a reason you chose to have weight loss surgery. I touched on that last time when we spoke about different kinds of things to do over the holiday season. And I'm really going to kind of talk about that some more today because you want your holiday season to be happy and memorable and not result in a bunch of weight regain. It is a very difficult season to resist food because the triggers are even more profound than they are at any other time of the year. So we really have to hone in on what can I do besides eat? What do you do on the holidays besides eat? Well, I want you to truly remember the reasons. One, the reason for the season, and come up with reasons besides food. For many people, there are religious reasons associated with the holiday seasons, whatever your religion happens to be. There may be holiday customs associated with that. But hopefully, for everybody, there are human connection reasons. The holiday season, we get together with friends, with family, with coworkers, with people we love, people we treasure. A lot of times we get to be together with people who cause us a lot of stress too. That is not a reason to eat either. Because if you've completed your personal protection plan, you have with you for all those events where you're going to be around people who stress you out, a protection plan, things you can do besides turning to eating unhealthy foods when you feel overly emotional. All right, we're going to go on today with things you can do over the holiday season while remembering that truly in life, not just at the holiday season, but truly in life, our reason for existing is connection with other people. Human beings are built for connection. We are built for relationship. And developing relationships is not always easy. And there are almost inevitably, whether it's friendships, relationships with coworkers, partners, spouses, parent, child, there's almost always some kind of conflict. But as we get older, especially, and maybe if you're younger and quite wise, you realize that the connections in life are really what life is all about. So not only are the connections, a really great reason for this holiday season when everybody makes more effort to connect with people, it's really a reason for existing and helping each other on this journey of life. So, in this holiday season, let's help each other to stay on track with our healthy goals. The other reason I want you to keep in mind is the reason you chose to have bariatric surgery. You know, you want to prolong your life, you want to have better health, and you want to really enjoy the people for a longer period of time. So, let's focus on things you can do over the holidays. And again, you might think some of these are really corny, really lame, but guess what? They're better than doing what we tend to typically do over the holidays, which is overeat and then overeat again, and then eat things we shouldn't be eating some more, and then beating ourselves up and ending up having gained weight over the holidays. So I know I've been kind of harping on the same things for a couple of weeks now, but I want to give you more and more and more and more ideas of things you can do, whether you're by yourself or with other people over the holidays, and make it as fun as you can. If you hear something I say and you think, "Oh, that's a lame idea," find a way to make it a less lame idea in a way that will work for you. All right, so here are some ideas, and I found these on websites. I didn't come up with these, but I'll throw in some of my own ideas as we go along. And you could throw in some ideas by posting under the, the podcast or going to the bariatric care page and posting some of your own ideas or share some of this information with your other support groups. So here's an idea: throw a food free holiday party. Oh my God, can you imagine a food free holiday party? You're thinking, who would come and why would I want to go? But you can do this and you can make it all kinds of fun. And you inform your guests ahead of time that they need to eat before they come, because this is going to be a party with no food, no treats, no alcohol, no caloric intake. Let people know what to expect so they can relax about the food too. Maybe this is a group of people who also stresses about food. Heck, who doesn't, right? And you can have a junk food free, all food free party and ask them, please don't bring food. Please do not eat eat alcohol. Do not bring alcohol. And remind them, eat before you come or plan to eat when you leave. So you want to do some planning to replace food with other forms of entertainment. A lot of people go to the food table when they get to a party because they want to keep their hands busy while they make sometimes awkward conversation. So maybe have a tray with some of those things kids use at school now. You know, they have the little poppers, or get some little Rubik's cubes or hunks of clay or Play-Doh, other little finger toys, and it serves the same purpose. You know, it keeps people's hands distracted. It could also be little conversation starters, or, just ways to be creative. Be creative. All right, have water available, have a lot of cups available in the same way that you would for punch or alcohol or whatever else. Instead of, if you have kids at the party, instead of having candy, get out stickers and pencils and stencils and erasers and have a light bright, or maybe temporary tattoos, crayons, markers, any kind of non-food treats. You can get all this kind of stuff at the dollar store. Trust me, I have 7 grandkids. I like them doing a lot of crafts during holiday time, and so I stock up at the dollar store. All right, so have an event or some events planned for the main event, and maybe it could be a cribbage challenge, or a have the kids play a hi ho cheerio, depending on the age of the kids, or Quirkle, or some of those really great games, or mix adults and children and have a really really great time. Play categories, or play charades, or play Pictionary, some of those really, really great games, and partner up with the little ones if you have kids involved. But most adults like to play board games. And if that's not of your era or your generation, try it out because it is a riot. Now, whether you're by yourself or you want to include this as part of your non food party, you can do some volunteering. And it's really fun to do volunteer activities as a group. So you may have everybody at the party sit down and write letters to some veterans, expressing your gratitude, and take them to the local VA. Or you could gather all kinds of items. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive, but this is one that we do early in the holiday season. My husband and I go to the dollar store, the $1 dollar store, and we buy socks and t-shirts and toothbrushes and toothpaste and deodorant and gloves and um, protein packed, like packets of tuna or packets of chicken salad that's already pre-made, or crackers with cheese, or the healthier kinds of things. And we will buy 15 of each of these items, and we'll get like 20 items. And it does cost some money, but maybe you could make it where everybody at the party contributes if you want to, or buy the stuff yourselves. But what we do then is we have all the grandkids and all the parents, and we line up all the stuff, and we have a bag, like a duffel bag or whatever kind of bag, inexpensive bag, a drawstring bag, and we have them go down the line and we fill the bags. And literally on Christmas Day, my husband and I take our bags to downtown Atlanta and we just find groups of homeless people or one homeless person at a time and we just hand out the bags. And the kids put little notes in there just saying, I'm sending you, it doesn't have to be a religious note. It can just be, I'm sending you warm wishes and good health for the new year, whatever it is. But it's something you can do to give of yourself. And this can take some time, right? So you're having a party, but you're including everybody in an event. Or have everybody at the party, especially if you have families there, make some sort of holiday decoration that they can do together as groups and take it home. So be creative. If you like to entertain, I do not. But if you like to entertain, but you don't wanna have all the food around because it stresses you out and it stresses out a lot of other people, or if you wanna have a party for just bariatric groups, then have a non-food party and have a really great time. It can be done. So other things that you can do during this holiday season, instead of baking, maybe make decorations that you take to the people you usually give food gifts to. It could be a wreath, it could be a holiday ornament, it could be any kinds of thing. It doesn't have to be an expensive something, just something to say, I'm thinking about you. I like to give gifts. I like to create with my hands. And instead of baking this year, I'm making you something else from my heart. Another thing to do is, if you want to have a tea party, not a food, junk food, little sugar filled treat party, then get yourself a whole bunch of teas during the season. And if you want something at night, try a different tea every night or other sugar free kinds of beverages, sugar free hot chocolate or sugar free coffee creamers, and try all kinds of different things. In fact, here's a really, really fun thing that we do in our family is we will have taste test parties. So if you guys really like tea or coffee creamers or whatever your thing is, get a bunch of sugar-free kinds of things and with your family, pour some coffee or some tea and put some of the creamers, the sugar-free creamers in and then have them taste it and mark down what flavor they think it is. It's really kind of a fun thing to do with your family. And again, it's not a calorie ingesting kind of event. So it's kind of fun. Depending on where you live, get the heck outside. I'm kind of in between climate in Atlanta. It can be cold here during the holidays or it can be fairly warm. I've lived in Texas where it's super hot during the holidays, and I've lived in the Midwest where we have a ton of snow during the holidays. It doesn't matter. Get outside. Plan a sledding party if you live where there's a lot of snow, or a toboggan party. What a great thing toboggans are, right? And when I was a kid, man, those toboggans were heavy. You had to carry those heavy wooden toboggans up the hill. Not anymore, buddy. They got those lightweight toboggans where 5 or 6 people can get on it, ride down that hill together. Or if that's too much for you because you can't yet climb up and down those hills, you stand up at the top of the hill and you arrange the groups. Have the kids bring the sleds up and you watch them and you be the photographer. But get outside. We live in a neighborhood where it's great to walk in, and many of you do. Get outside and have everybody go for an after dinner walk. So it's not that you can't have your holiday meal, but get up and go for a walk afterwards and sit instead of sitting down and falling in front of the television. It's a great thing to do, and pretty much everybody will feel better after you do that. Doesn't have to be a hike, doesn't have to be a long walk, but If you want to go for a hike, find an area where there's a great place where you could do a mile or two, or however many you want. The kids will love it. Kids need to burn off that energy. So if you're holidaying with kids, get outside, have them gather up, twigs and pine cones and acorns and have them come home and make an ornament with it or a decoration. Again, if you live in the cold and this may be something you haven't done in 1,000 years, go ice skating. Get a group together. And if you don't feel like that's a smart thing for you to do, I don't know how old you are, but I would still probably venture to get on some ice skates because I grew up ice skating. But if you've never done it, maybe not. Maybe you be the one to build the fire, build an outdoor fire that everybody can come around in. But get outside and go ice skating somewhere. It is so much fun. Or find an indoor ice skating place. Here's a great idea. And again, this is not my idea, and I will share the websites with you. But this is called the Love Bomb. During the holidays, it can be a very difficult time for a lot of people. People are depressed. It's a time of remembering people who have lost, we've lost. Holiday times are huge for death. I have a friend who lost somebody just last week. It's a time where it seems like, oh, people go through a lot of difficult times at the holidays. So there's probably people in your circle that could use a little TLC over the holidays. So maybe you could make them a love bomb. And what you can do is you can do this in any kind of way. You can just honor them with your presence. Go over with some tea, not treats, just some tea and make a time where you could just go over and spend some time with them. Or if you live in that cold, snowy part of the country, go for and shovel somebody's walk for them. You don't even have to know them. It's just an act of kindness. Or, get some holiday winter supplies like salt for the driveway or just some bottles of water or a windshield scraper or a pair of gloves or a fun scarf, something that's not going to cost you a lot of money, but just go take it and set it on their porch. Or maybe, send them, don't go buy them and take them because it might be really difficult for you, but maybe send them some meals from a local place that provides meals and have it sent to them. But do this with friends. Do this with your family. I think it is so critically important that we teach children the value of giving to others, especially during this season. So maybe take your kids or your grandkids and go through the toy room and take out things that are in good condition, still usable, still has all the pieces, and maybe take it to a local shelter so that they get the idea that maybe you are very, very blessed, or maybe you have more toys than any kid ever needs, and show them the value of sharing with people who have less. It's a great thing to start, especially with kids. Maybe you could get your tribe together and put together a beautiful photo album for a family member who maybe isn't able to join you this year for the holidays, maybe due to illness, maybe because, you've got some squabbles in the family because there are some vaccinated and some unvaccinated people. COVID is not gone and past, right? So there are families that I understand are really squabbling about who do we invite and what do we do? And some are vaxxed, some are not vaxxed. What do you do? Well, if your family is split up, maybe it's just because of geography. Get together as a family, put together a photo album. Maybe it's one you can send over the internet. Maybe it's one you have created into a book. You can get these done at Walgreens or wherever, and they always have half price off. So it's a small investment, great return because maybe then they feel like they were with you for the holiday meal in some small way. So get together and do things like that. Many places have holiday walks and runs. This is an amazing thing to do. We've done this many years, gone on a Thanksgiving 5K or 10K before we all get together, or maybe it's some sort of Christmas or Hanukkah walk. There are walks you can do as groups. I know there's a big one going on with one of the tennis shoe companies that it's a relay race, and you can have friends all over the country participate, or maybe your support group could do this as a group, and you walk so many miles and they walk so many miles, and the other person runs a mile and the other person jogs 5 miles, and however you want to do it, but you add up your collective time and then you submit it, and it's kind of a way to bring people together in a collective kind of good deed. Everybody benefits because if you walk or you run or you jog or you get out of your house and move for a block, you're doing something good for yourself. Here's the thing that we do a lot in our family, and it is so much fun if you have kids. Do a treasure hunt. So you write little notes on pieces of paper, and the next clue can be inside or outside, and then the whole gang runs to get the other one. And at the end of it, you can have things from the dollar store. Doesn't have to be food related. And so much fun. Or go on a scavenger hunt. It doesn't mean you have to be knocking on strangers' doors to gather things, but do an outdoor scavenger hunt. Go find a gold leaf, find a red leaf, find an acorn, find a walnut that's been split open. Those kinds of things. Kids love this. It takes up time, it helps them burn off energy. Why not? Great fun thing to do. Get your family together over the holiday season, or maybe if you're a parent or a grandparent, just take one child. Maybe there's just one that's old enough, but go to the theater, go to a performance. It doesn't have to be expensive. There are performances at little theaters all over. A lot of them are very low cost. So find a performance. Take your kids to do something that they might not otherwise do. What a great quality way to spend time, to have some one on one, to reconnect. Or if you don't have kids in your lives, call a friend who maybe doesn't get out a lot and volunteer to take them to some kind of holiday performance. How about classic movie nights? Love our classic movies that we watch year after year after year. And you can have movie night without involving any kind of food. Truly and really, you can. Find some other activity to do. One year, my daughter-in-law, my daughters, and myself, we made holiday wreaths while we watched some movies. Or you could make a table runner. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. You can hand stitch it. You don't need a machine. You can make a craft for a centerpiece while you're watching movies. My favorite of all is Love Actually. Can't help but love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Decorate together. Get the people together. I hate decorating. Honestly, I hate decorating. So I get the kids together, they all do that. So, all kinds of things you can do, and I'm going to give you some other ideas. If you've heard me talk before, you've heard me talk about having a, what do I call it? My tip jar. The tip jar is where you put ideas for things to do when you're triggered or you're tempted to eat, but you go to your tip jar, you pull something out, and it may say, go write a thank you note. So instead of eating, you go write a thank you note. And if that craving still hasn't passed or you're still tempted, pull something else out of the tip jar. You could make family tip jars, or you could make a tip jar for a friend who might be struggling with emotional eating or food addiction. Or you can make a family gratitude jar where everybody writes down things that they've been grateful for this year. And maybe you put it on the shelf and you collect it, and you collect this over the years. Great thing to break out when those kids are grown up. Watch the Macy's Day Parade. Super fun. And again, you can watch TV and not eat. You can make tea that has no calories in it. You can make coffee drinks that have no calories in them. But sit down and enjoy the Macy's Day Parade, and it may be with kids. My kids, don't ask me why, but my kids love to watch the dog show that comes on after the Macy's Day Parade. So that's a ton of fun for them, and they have a movie they like, and I can't remember. Something there was a dog show in it. Hysterical. All right. Some other ideas are to go to the theater and watch a movie. Now, if this is something that's a big trigger for you, you don't want to go to the theater and load up on food. If you can't go to the theater and get past the smell of the popcorn or the candy or the whatever, then don't go to the theater. But it can be a fun thing to do. Here's a good one, and we did this last week. Get the kids outside and let them just run in the leaves, bury themselves in the leaves, bury each other in the leaves, or bury themselves in the snow, but you might wanna keep an eye on that one. Don't let little ones get frostbite. Get the kids outside. We bought this amazing net this year, and it's a net that is adjustable for height. So we can put that net down low where the kids can play tennis. We can put that net up high so they can play volleyball or badminton. You can have little tournaments. You can get outside and play touch football. You can have a baseball game. Get outside and play. It's one of the great things. Another fun thing to do, we talked about making a photograph book, is get out the old family photos and look at them. They're super fun to get, you remember this holiday and that holiday, and you talk about people that are no longer with you in a loving way, and you remember, and it gives people a good feeling, gives people happiness and joy, and you don't have to eat to do any of these things. And I'll wrap this up with the one last thing that we do on Thanksgiving, and I've done this since I was a very young child. We've done it in I'm 61 years old, and so we've done this in my family for as long as I can remember. And I have 5 siblings, so there are 6 of us, and we all do this now in our respective families. For many years, we all got together, but we're kind of spread out a little bit now. But we get together on a Zoom, and we talk about the traditional talent show. Now, this is not real talent. Let me just tell you, this is really tragic talent. In fact, it's not talent at all. We do things like curl your tongue like this and say, "Can you curl your tongue?" Or oh my gosh, one year my sister and her husband put a coin literally in between their butt cheeks. Yes, they had their clothes on, but they backed up, and whoever could drop the coin into the bucket first wins. I mean, tragic talent. So, you might want to have yours a little less disgusting. Or, have a spoon race where you put the spoon in your mouth and see who can get the furthest with the egg. Whatever you do, have a talent show. It's so much fun. And it's so silly and totally ridiculous. But there's a reason for this season, and I believe it's to have laughter and fun and share love, share grief, share communication, share communion with one another, being there together. And so, please use some other examples, and make people and communication and connection the reason for this holiday season, and use the information in the past videos so that you can get through this holiday season with no weight gain and even maybe some weight loss. All right, my friends, that's it for today. Remember, this is your health, it's your responsibility this day and every one of the days, even through the holiday season. So enjoy the season, live, laugh, love. Very trite, but enjoy one another. You can do it without food.